And we are back live here. We are just west of Amsterdam at Circuit Park Zandvoort, and we are happy to bring you race number 2 of the GTCC here, week number 5. And we had a great race in race number 1. I'm JD Smith. Alongside me in the booth this afternoon is Kane Kraft. And Kane, we got to see some really good racing in race number 1, some of the best we've seen in weeks. And it's really good that it happened here at Zandvoort here in the Netherlands. A really tough track, in my opinion, and we're fixing to go green, buddy. And as we take off here, you look at it right now, looking at how things are lining up already. Let's see if we can keep safe here, as we have had trouble throughout some of these races, a lot of the races, in fact. So far, so good. And man, a smile on my face, Kane.
It looked like Jim Pinkman had another accident.
Yeah, I just saw that right as I opened my mouth. I had a smile on my face for a second. No major whammies, though, this far.
Yeah, he's got it going back on the track again.
Good job for Jim Pinkman to rescue that car. I know it's been disastrous for him. Well, right now is that time when everything's trying to tighten down. Everybody's trying to gain and fight for position, but everybody starts to settle in as this first lap is underway. Look at Ellis Stevens in the 4th position. You see him right there. Looked like he was going to give up that spot, but no, sir. CP Allen, I am not letting you by, is what Ellis just said. Right in front of Ellis Stevens, you see the monster machine of Douglas Beard, who won all 3 races last week in week number 4. No, he's itching to get back in victory lane. Just in front of him is the Pepsi Max ride of Eddie DePaula, and Eddie DePaula holding down that 2nd place position, and he's got a pack of cars behind him, Kane.
Yeah, he does. Douglas Beard going so fast through there, he's burning the tires off.
And that is a fact.
He kept it under control,
first.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, out in first place was your winner of race number 1, Robert Fagg, back out in front, and right now on pace to really try to have no danger from this pack of guys, but you know that ain't going to hold up long. There's your time in between your intervals. Excuse me. Eddie DePaula is 1.8 seconds behind our leader. And
looks like Robert Fagg's on pace to get at least 2 out of 3 so far. If he can maintain pace, keep it on the track, he's got a good chance of possibly doing as Doug Beard did last week and possibly getting a 3-peat. But I can't really say that because next race we will get some inverted grid.
And with a lot of cars on the track, it's going to be hard to work your way up from the back of the pack. Up until last week, when we saw Doug Beard win all 3 races. We had seen a new 3 different winners each week. That is really a great thing for this league, I think, is when you see a bunch of different winners like that. Trouble, do we have trouble? I just see sand everywhere. It's Ellis Stevens cut through the gravel there.
Yeah, CP and Ellis Stevens got into it a little bit there, and looks like Ellis might have some damage as he's let a few cars go by.
Yeah, we see him slip down there. Don't know how bad the damage is, if it's going to cause him to have to pit. He is catching back up to race pace now, and looks like he's going to be able to stay out. But tough break for Ellis Stevens. We've seen him run really good here in the past few weeks. He's really starting to step his game up. I know he mentioned, for those of you that were able to join us for race 1, got to see Ellis Stevens. He finished, I believe, 4th, didn't he, in race number 1, Kane?
Yeah, he did.
So, good job for him. Looks like there you see Matt Gelder in 7th currently, and there, trouble for Kyle Herron. Trouble for our good friend Kyle.
Look at the replay, see what happened to Kyle.
All right, and as Kane dials up the replay here, we'll take a good look at what happened to Kyle Herron. Here you see him going down that front straightaway, guys, and just what unfolds.
Oh, Kobe just kind of went in a little too heavy, and
yeah, the
got into the side of him.
The 15 of Covey Moore just got in just enough just to upset Kyle Herron's car and get him loose and tough. And there's one of my favorite paint schemes we jumped over just a second ago. Jason Lundy's pistachios there.
Well, let's check in on Jason Lundy and see how his race is going. Well, he's not on the track, so he must have had some troubles.
Oh man, we cut through and he was doing fine. We'll check in, guys, and find out what happened to Jason. Still no sign of him quite yet. We may have to check back in just a little bit. Here's a good view of your leader, Robert Fagg, the number 28 car, heading down the front straightaway here. In 2nd place is Eddie DePaula right behind him. There's Jason right there.
This is a replay of Jason Lundy the last 40 seconds before he went off track, so before he disappeared. So I was curious to see what happened to him. Oh, there it is. He got into the fence, flipped over on his lid. I am glad I went back to check that out. Into the gravel.
Oh man, Kane.
Tough break for Jason Lundy.
Wow. That right there
live
is just...
to Robert Fagg in the lead here.
And that was just some kind of wreck for Jason Lundy. I hate to see him get involved in that. I'm going to do a rundown here. We are currently on lap number 3 of 9 here in race number 2, folks. In 1st place, our leader, Robert Fagg. 2nd place and battling hard is Eddie DePaula. 3rd, Doug Beard right behind him, trying to take it away. 4th place is the number 72 car of Drew Led Kia. CP Allen is in 5th, while Matt Gelder is in 6th. Ellis Stevens back in 7th, and Mario Gerard is holding 8th. 9th belongs to Fabrizio Battistella, while Simon G. Goodwin is in 10th. 11th is for Jim Egan. 12th, Kyle Herring. Kobe Moore in 13th. 14th belongs to Jason Lundy. Peter Hebron is in 15th. And in 16th is Jim Panknin. But of course, as they go across the finish line in just a minute, all what happened to our good friend Jason Lundy, so I'm sure that's going to knock him back, unfortunately. He took a tough roller coaster ride, Kane.
Yeah, that was a tough accident.
And I love this view that you have right now, Kane, or we just had a second ago. Looking back there on Douglas Beard, this shows just a great battle we have for 2nd. That is really a fantastic race. These two guys have known to race next to each other, and Eddie DePaula is itching for a win. He went last week without a win as Doug Beard took all of them. So Eddie DePaula wanting to get back up there and get a win. He really is wanting one. Great. Look at this onboard view right now as you're looking from Douglas Beard, looking onto the rear of Eddie DePaula's Pepsi Max Kia, and just great battle going on.
Eddie DePaula's had a tough couple weeks. It's not been horrible by any means, but he has finished a little further back in the pack than what he had been, and so he's anxious to get a good podium finish.
He really is, Kane. And I'm looking, and do you notice he has some rear damage to the rear of that Kia?
Yeah, Beard's got into him a couple times.
And I was thinking
bad accident there. Douglas got off the track and came back up in front of Eddie. Douglas did regress the position to Eddie, giving it back there for second place. But let's hope that neither one of those guys got damaged so that they can finish out these last 5 laps.
I know neither one of those guys like to see that happen, but it didn't hurt either one of them too bad. But you know who did like to do that? Drew Lid Kia back there in 4th in the number 72 Kia, as he will now try to march up there and try to catch up to these guys and make it a 3-way battle for 2nd place.
Oh, bad accident between Eddie and Douglas Beard. That was cars flipping over and everything. Let's go back and catch a replay of that.
Ouch, Kane. Let's see what happened as we look. Traffic gets by him okay. It could have been really bad as the tail end of Douglas Beard got back out into the road. That could have been really bad, Kane, for the rest of the field. Here you see them side by side, and oh no, it's one's on the inside, one's on the outside. And it's hard to point a finger at that one. That's just 2 guys racing, Kane.
Yeah, that was, what can you say about that one? They're both fighting for the same position.
I mean, they were side by side. You're going through a tough little turn there, a lot of speed. You're not going to give an inch. Obviously, you've been battling with him for, 6 tough laps. Just
what, 4 turns before that, or maybe 1 lap. Beard came in, kind of crowded him in the same area, and then now this lap Eddie kind of did the same thing, and only this accident was just quite a bit more severe. But yeah, those guys were definitely hard at it.
Tough break in that accident. You guys just saw it's Douglas Beard and Eddie DePaula. Tough break for the second, and they were both they were fighting for second. Tough break for him, as you see in the pit area right now, getting damage repaired. But currently there's 3 laps remaining, and your leader is Robert Fagg, who did take the checkered flag in race number 1, so he is trying to make it a repeat. And could we possibly see him, if he makes it a repeat, could we see the 3-peat, the trifecta we saw last week with Douglas Beard? That would be something, as it's only been done once so far this season. Look at Drew Lid Kia and Ellis Stevens right now, Kane.
Yeah, a little bit of contact through the turn there, and looked like it cost Drew a position. But CP Allen is hard on the move. He'd like to get that podium position out of Ellis.
You know he would. CP Allen always trying to get up towards the front. Usually does a really good job of getting up there as well. Drew Lid back in the 4th. Good job from Drew Lid Kia. He seems to be doing really well here in the Netherlands today. He is doing good up there in 4th, trying to stay out of trouble and just keep putting good lap times down and hopefully move up a little bit through the field. But look at Robert Fagg, our leader. Wouldn't it be something?
Oh, an accident. Fabrizio got into Lid Kia, spun him around. They were both facing backwards on the track. Looks like Fabrizio's got it around. Lid Kia's got it around. They're both going in again. Looks like they lost a couple positions.
Man, Drew Lid Kia's got some nasty damage to that front right tire. Kane, is the camber on that tire. I mean, it's got to be pointing at least like a 3-degree angle. That's got to be hard to turn.
Couple laps left. I don't think he'll probably make it around for both of them.
No, he's probably going to be forced to stop. I remember we had a issue last week, was it, when we had a guy caught up some damage, and he got the old-fashioned meatball flag and was told to pit. He did not pit, and because of that, he had to forfeit the third position. And who was that, Kane? Help me remember.
That was our good friend Jason Lundy.
That's who I thought it was. I just didn't want to misrepresent anybody, but unfortunate event. So when you get a repair flag, you need to go in and get it fixed. Unfortunately,
you don't want to probably be safe this time. They give you 4 laps, and we only got 2 left, so he'd probably be okay if he did chance it. But he probably don't want to drive the car around for 2 laps all broken like that.
Yeah, I know when I race, it driving a car that's broke like that is not. I don't like to do it for one. The main reason I don't like to do it is because I'm in fear of getting into somebody else. I'm afraid something can break off the car or cut me loose at any moment, and I lose control of the car and get into somebody else and mess somebody else's day up. That's one of the reasons why I try not to, if I can help it. But obviously different scenarios call for different strategies. So understandable. There's a place for everything, and I do understand that. Ellis Stevens right now and CP Allen going at it big time. Great battle here on the last lap. And if Ellis Stevens can finish in second, Kane, I mean, that'll be outstanding for that endless get right there. CP Allen smoking tires.
Nice boost for the points.
Because I tell you what, this CP Allen as well, both these guys are dangerous in the points because they put up consistent numbers. I mean, we looked at it in the GV8 last night, but showing up every week and finishing consistently good, it is dangerous for points championship. Some guys have trouble. It's hard to make every race, and unfortunately we have other things in life that call, but sometimes it really helps to show up every race and put in consistent results, and that's what you see these guys like Ellis Stevens do. Here you see it, final lap. The number 28 took race number 1, ladies and gentlemen, and he will be happy as, barring no crazy accidents here at the end, Robert Fagg should be able to take race number 2 as well. And I tell you what, he is on pace to do what was done 1 week ago and follow in Doug Beard's footsteps and take the trifecta this week here at Zandvoort, here at Circuit Park Zandvoort in the Netherlands. And looks like he's going to be able to do it, Kane.
Yeah, great job to Robert Fagg. 2 in a row. We hadn't seen it done all season long, and now we're on pace to do 2 in a row with 3 winners, 3 of the same winners. So this is a good deal.
Well, congratulations to Robert Fagg. It will give us something super to root for in the 3rd race. I'd like to see if he can do it. It's so hard, none less win 1 race, but to win 3 in a row, Kane, that is really special and tough to do. So we will be looking, and as Kane mentioned earlier, it is reverse grid, so
I think it will be a random number of positions in the top 10, so he won't be put no further back than 10th position.
Which is dangerous for all the drivers and the way he's been driving here.
It's a dangerous area.
Especially the way the GTCC has had their first lap, what can I call it, accidents. Hopefully
today's been pretty good, though. I mean, they've done a pretty good job today of taking it easy that first lap, and a little bit of bumping, but no carnage on the first lap, and the carnage has come a little later.
Well, hopefully we left all the carnage back at the mountain a couple weeks ago, and what we saw the last week was just a little bit of trails from the mountain, but Looks like you're right, Kane. Things have cleaned up. Don't want to jinx the guys. I'm going to do a full rundown in just a second on how things finished up here in race number 2, week 5. Good job to Robert Fagg, who was your leader. He's won now race 1 and race number 2. Second place went to Ellis Stevens. Congratulations to the number 11. Third place went to E.P. Allen. Simon G. Goodwin took 4th, while 5th went to Drew Lidkia. 6th went to Fabrizio Batisla. And Jim Egan took 7th. Good run for Jim. 8th place went to Peter Hebron. Eddie DePaulo went to 9th. 10th went to Jason Lundy, while Douglas Beard ended up in 11th. 12th went to his teammate Matt Gilder, and 13th went Covey Moore. 14th was Kyle Herring, and Mario Gerard was in 15th. Jim Pankman ended up in the rear of the field in 16th. And as Kane has pulled up our point standings thus far going into this week, look at your point leader who won all 3 races last week, Douglas Beard. And I know he just had a race with getting in the accident with Eddie DePaula, but he is atop the point standings in this very tight point standings. Look at Robert Fagg and C.P. Allen in the points coming into this week, Kane.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just 1 point separation. Last week going into the races, there was just 5 points between the top 3. So this has been a close series, and it's only getting closer.
And then you look at 4 and 5 with Mario Gerard and Eddie DePaula with, 129 to 124. Can you believe? I mean, it's just so tight. And then look at the 6th place, Ellis Stevens at 113, and he's had an outstanding weekend so far here at Zandvoort. So, if let's say Ellis Stevens finishes on a podium in this 3rd race, we really could see him start to contend with these 1st and 2nd and 3rd place guys in the points. Anything is possible at this point in this series. It is so close, and very exciting for us to get to see how things are really tightening up in the point standings here. Also, Jim Egan just had a really good race as well here in race number 2. So these guys keep... And Matt Gelder, I think, is going to come by and talk with us in just a second. Matt, are you with us?
I'm here.
Great, man. Glad to have you here. Just finished race number 2 before we get ready to go to race number 3. How did you feel about this race number 2 we just finished just a second ago?
I was doing just fine until Mario spun out in front of me and I did a somersault in the middle of the air.
Had a little acrobatic fun there on the track. Unfortunately, it probably wasn't as fun as you wanted it to be. But I was
actually pretty surprised that it actually did a full somersault without touching the ground first.
Man, now we're gonna have to go back and get that footage, Kane. Like now, if we can. But it's glad to have you here, Matt. I know you had some really tough luck earlier in the season, but it seems now things are really starting to turn around for you and get a little bit better for you. Just finished. Your teammate had a rough break as well. Doug Beard was doing good up there in 3rd place, battling for 2nd, and him and Eddie DePaula got into each other. Unfortunately, he finished right behind you in this race. He finished in 12th or 13th. I can't remember.
It looks like 13th.
Okay, and you finished in 11th then. Okay, they just swapped 12 and 13. They had Doug up 1 position, but
yeah, I saw him come. I heard him and Eddie on the radio, and then I come around the corner and had to dodge him. So when I came around the corner, I was dodged him and Eddie off in the grass, and then that's the next couple corners is when Mario spun out and kind of launched me through the air.
Wow. So had to dodge a lot of other cars this race here in race number 2. What are some things you are going to work on in race number 3 to work your way towards the front, bud?
Biggest thing is trying to stay out of trouble. I love this track. I've always loved Zandvoort, and there's a few other tracks that I really love. It flows the way I like it to flow. But the biggest thing is the cars are set up so loose the first couple laps, and it's really hard to try to just keep in control and try to keep pace.
Well, we are talking, guys, to the driver of the number 69 Monster Machine, Matt Gelder. We're happy to have you, Matt. We're going to be heading on to race number 3 here real soon, and look forward to seeing you. Good luck in race number 2, bud. Hope to be talking to you at the end of that race, maybe with a podium finish.
Yeah, I hope so too. I will talk to you guys after the next race.
Okay, buddy. You take care and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Matt Gelder, guys, and we really want to thank him for stopping by. Look forward to seeing things from him and his teammate in the race number 3 here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. We have finished 2 races here. Once again, Robert Fagg takes races 1 and 2 this week, and can he get that famous trifecta that's so hard to get? We saw it last week. Can we see it again this week? It's funny, we went the first 3 weeks with seeing 3 separate winners each 3 races, and then all of a sudden Doug Beard pulls it off, and now Robert Fagg may be able to do it. We may see it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. 2 weeks in a row, the same 1 person winning this 3 races in a row. That's great. I would like to see it, but I don't know. I'd like to see someone else get up there and give him a run for his money too.
I was about to say, and let's just say Robert pulls it off. What will that do for the championship point run? Man, will that make it fun. It's already insane, so let's get ready for race number 3. You guys better not go anywhere. We are going to have to take a short little break in just a second. Thanks for joining us for race number 2 here at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Can't wait to be right back with you for race number 3. We want to thank GetDirtyMX.com. This race has been brought to you by them, so thank them for being on board with us all season long. This is the GTCC from grossim.us. Go by and visit grossim.us as well, guys. That's where the home for all these drivers and us on the broadcast team as well. By and just check out the website. It's one of the best places. I like to think it's one of iRacing's best hidden gems. I love it. Proud to call it home for my sim racing. I love it. That's grossim.us. That is our team, and we love it. But want to thank Kane Craft for being on board with us and giving us these awesome camera angles and camera views, and a big part of our broadcast team. I'm JD Smith alongside him, and we'll be right back. Race number 3 in just a moment, guys. Thank you very much.